Bob goes to the By the Way nut store and creates his own bridge mix. He combines 1 pound of raisins, 2 pounds of chocolate-covered peanuts, and 1.5 pounds of cashews. The raisins cost $1.25 per pound, the chocolate-covered peanuts cost $3.25 per pound, and the cashews cost $5.40 per pound. What is the cost per pound of this mix? To find the cost per pound of this mix, we can find the total cost of the mix and divide by the total number of pounds. To find the total cost, we multiply the total number of pounds per item times the total cost per pound. We have 1 pound of raisins at $1.25 per pound, so this will be 1 times 1.25. We have 2 pounds of chocolate-covered peanuts at $3.25 per pound, so this is 2 times 3.25. We have 1.5 pounds of cashews at $5.40 per pound, so this is 1.5 times 5.40. Now we divide the total cost by the total number of pounds. We have 1 plus 2 plus 1.5 pounds. Simplifying the top, we get 15.85. And simplifying the bottom, we get 4.5. Now let's divide and round to 2 decimal places or to the nearest cent, and we get approximately 3.52. So the cost of this mix is approximately $3.52 per pound. You can also use the weighted mean formula to solve this problem. This is the weighted mean formula. For this specific problem, the WI's, so W1, W2, all the way to W sub n, will represent the number of pounds per each ingredient. And the XI's, X1, X2, etc. will represent the cost per pound. We have 3 different items, so we will have 3 values for the WI's and 3 values for the XI's. First, let's determine W1 and X1. W1 will represent the number of pounds of the first ingredient, which we can let the raisins be the first ingredient, so W1 will be 1. So that means X1 will have to be the cost per pound of raisins, and that will be $1.25. Now let's find W2, which is going to be the number of pounds of the second ingredient. Let's let the second ingredient be the chocolate-covered peanuts, and we have 2 pounds of chocolate-covered peanuts. So W2 is 2. Now let's find X2, and this is going to be the cost per pound of the second ingredient. The cost of the second ingredient is $3.25, so X2 will be $3.25. Now let's determine W3. W3 will be the total number of pounds of the third ingredient. Let's let the third ingredient be cashews, so W3 will be 1.5 because we have 1.5 pounds of cashews. Now let's find X3. X3 will represent the total cost per pound of cashews, which is $5.40. We only have 3 ingredients, so these are the only numbers that we have for the formula for this specific problem. Now let's substitute these values into the formula. First we have W1 X1, which means W1 times X1. So this will be 1 times 1.25. Next, we need to add W2 times X2. This will be 2 times 3.25. Next, we will add W3 times X3. This will be 1.5 times 5.40. This is going to be the top or the numerator, and now let's substitute the values for the bottom or the denominator. In the denominator, we will have the sum of all the WI's. So this will be W1 plus W2 plus W3, which is 1 plus 2 plus 1.5. First, let's simplify the top, and we get 15.85, and on the bottom, we get 4.5. Now let's divide and round to 2 decimal places or the nearest cent, and we get approximately 3.52. Notice that we obtain the same answer with the first method. So the cost of this mix is $3.52 per pound.